Hey, so obviously I didn't get around to doing my neurology update 2 weeks ago. I had my last golden weekend for a while, and so I took advantage of that. Today I have a day off though. I'm working on a presentation that I have to give for CT surgery that I'm doing right now, and just needed a little break, so I figured this was a good time to pop in and do an update. So, neurology. Neurology was 4 weeks long, and basically the way it is in my school is there were a variety of locations that we could choose from to do our rotation. Most people were at the public hospital where we do all the rest of our rotations, but I elected to go to a nearby private hospital, hoping to have fewer hours so that I could finish up my residency application and all that stuff, which actually worked out pretty nicely. So basically, the way it works is I'd have to go to morning report, which is at 8. After that, I'd meet up with the two interns who were basically my whole team, and we divide up patients that needed to be seen or new consults, that kind of thing. I'd go and do those, and then, usually we could get done before lunch, honestly. And then we'd wait around to do rounds with one of two attendings that we were working with. It was fun. There was a lot of downtime, and so I was kind of bored. But the subject material is really, really interesting. The only thing that makes it not so appealing for me was that there's actually not a lot that can be done for people once they have neurological disorders. So it was a lot of, housekeeping, and I'd go in and the patient would still be comatose, kind of a thing. And then, even for strokes, you can do rehab and that kind of stuff, but most of it's just risk factor management, and once the event has happened, there's really no going back. You can't fix it. And, that's actually ended up being one of my favorite things about surgery, is that stuff actually gets fixed, and it's awesome. Which definitely isn't the case with neurology. But the two interns I had were awesome, and I had a lot of fun with the two of them, and so it was a good experience. And then the attendings we had also were really, really nice. One of them was a graduate of my med school, and so he's a pretty new attending, and had all these projects in the air and everything like that, and so it was fun to work with him. And then the other one, she she was a badass. She fought so hard for her patients, and everything that she thought was the right thing to be doing. If there was a barrier to doing that, then she was on it. And she was so smart, and it was actually really inspiring watching her work. So it was a good experience, and I'm glad I did it. The shelf was long and pretty hard. I haven't gotten my grade back for it, but hopefully I passed, and I don't really have to worry about this stuff ever again until my step 2. So I've been in CT surgery now for 2 weeks, and I'm pretty tired. The hours are way longer than I had anticipated. And it's rough. This last week in particular, we unexpectedly got Monday off, which was awesome, but paid dearly for it because the way it normally works is there's 4 med students on the team, and then 1 second-year surgery resident, and an intern who does all the floor patients. And so basically the med students in the second year do all the ICU work. And then the fellows do most of the operating, and med students go with the fellow to the operations and, cut things and, see how it's done, kind of. They don't let us do much because this is the private side, and patients would get mad if they let us do a lot. But the operations are more interesting than just the coronary artery bypass grafts that were going on at county, and so, there's mediastinal tumors and lung resections and reconstructions and a lot of things that are really, really cool. Not to mention the chair of the surgery department is absolutely phenomenal. And he's terrifying in how awesome he is. Because like he's not mean at all, but he's got this really intense gaze, and like if you ever try to give a presentation to him, like when he looks at you, you just go. But he's like, he just does everything right all the time. He can have it. His surgery times are half what other people do. It's amazing. So it's been good. You know, the fellows are starting to warm up to us, and so, you know, we're getting a better team vibe, which is another one of my favorite things about surgery. It's nice just to be back on a surgical rotation, honestly. But last week, apparently on the public side, they were short-staffed, so we lost our surgery resident to them so that she could go help them out. And on this rotation block, there's only 3 med students instead of the usual 4. So we were down our resident and a med student. We had to do all the ICU patients. We had like 15 of them, which is a lot. It's a lot. And so, you know, I've been getting up at 3:45 so I can be there at an hour to have all my notes and everything done by 6:30 when we round the first time. And then, you know, there were also a lot of last minute things that happened. There were a couple of transplants and that sort of thing. So, you know, some nights I wasn't getting home until 11. And, yeah, getting home at 11 when you have to be up at 3:45, it takes its toll. But yeah, I'm halfway through now, so that's nice. And I'm learning so much, and you know, it's good to know what I'm getting myself into now that I've already turned in the residency application. But it's exciting. So that was kind of actually more of a CT update than a neuro update. I suppose if anybody wants to know more about what neurology is like, you know, leave it in the comments and maybe I'll do another one on it, that kind of a thing. And I'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully, to do a CT surgery update in full. Until then, I hope everybody has a good couple of weeks, and I'll see you later.